Back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, it's sort of a repeat of what happened at the end of the show yesterday, which is we're going to talk about the Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass prices get a massive price cut, but Jez Corden talks about, at the end of his article here, talks about about a paragraph about what he thinks they should do, and I agree with it, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys and see what you guys thought as well. We're also going to talk about, if you can't get enough of TroyBaker in your video games, well, here's good news. He's actually going to start making them. He's going to start his own video game company, so we're going to talk about that as well. And then we have Xbox VP clarifies first-party Project Helix rumors, so we're going to cover that as well. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. My brain just shut off there for a second. It was just like, oop, what was I talking about? What's going on, chat? What's going on, Altern? Mr. Z, Eclipse, Jesse Mack, how's it going? Look a bit bright and washed out. All right, well, let me see. Maybe my camera got, what's it called? Is that better? Yeah, it looks like that fixed it. Yep, there it is. The white balance was off. Appreciate you. All right, real quick. I love Crimson Desert, right? I love Crimson Desert. Waterbear posted a thing inside our Discord, right? He posts a picture of this his friend, and he posts here. Let me put this in a new tab. Right, so he posts this picture. I won't show the guy's name. I'm just gonna show the hours that he's played. Okay, so Crimson Desert. Okay, he's got 4 achievements, 34 out of 34. Right, 4 achievements out of 34. Time played 27 days, 8 hours, 34 minutes. Okay, now I just want to put that in perspective. Okay, I want to put that in perspective. I don't believe this. I don't believe this in any way, shape, or form, because as Altern pointed out, the game's only been out for 32 days. 32 days, right? So if we do the math, right, and I posted in our Discord, right? I posted in the Discord, right? I said, bro, there's no way that's bullshit, right? He either left it on overnight, fell asleep every night after work, or he walks away to do shit and does not shut it off. Okay, your friend has slept an average around 3.25 hours a day and has not gone to work, because if there's 32 days maxed times 24 hours a day, that's 768 hours maxed as the time of writing that. Okay, he has 27 days and 8 hours, which is 656 hours. Okay, the leftover is like 122 hours or 120 hours. Okay. Well, that only averages about 3.75 or 4 hours of sleep a day. And that's 0 time going to work. Okay. No way. No way. There's absolutely no way. Okay. So I just think it's funny. But on top of that, there's people doing shit like this, okay, inside Crimson Desert, which, that's right. This is Crimson Desert. I know, it looks like Spider-Man, but look at this. Someone painted the armor in the color scheme of Spider-Man. Now, do I believe there's people playing this hundreds of hours? Yes, 100%. Look how cool this is. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny that they created that, right? What's going on, Water Bear? We were just talking about your friend that you posted in Discord and how I think it's 100% full of shit. This is a new Spider-Man game that's coming out. That's right. It's exclusive for Crimson Desert. What's going on, Jax? Xbox doesn't show total hours. Xbox doesn't show total hours played sometimes. But that would be the opposite of, right? That's showing, that is showing time played 27 days, 8 hours. All that means is that he's left it on. That's all that means. Like he walked away, he leaves it on in the background as he goes to dinner, right? Like there's no way. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's impossible because no man's sleeping for 4 hours a day, not going to work, and just playing this for the 648 hours, whatever it is. That's what he does to produce, mate. What? Oh, that's what he does to produce maps. He leaves it on. See? So he does leave it on. Okay? So that makes sense. I'm like, it makes no sense because that means he only averages 4 hours of sleep because there's only 120 hours left from the distance of when the game came out to how many hours he has in it. So he's not playing. He hasn't played 27 days worth of, he's left it on for 27 days. Just so people know, right? Water Bear's saying this is what he does to produce mats. Yeah, 100%. Because mathematically it doesn't add up. Sure, if he's unemployed and he's doesn't sleep, sure. Travis says 4 hours of sleep. That's like Sarge on Thursday levels of sleep. I mean, I sleep an average around 5.5 throughout the week, right? Sometimes I sleep 8, sometimes I sleep 3, but still, I'm doing other things. That's crazy. Like mathematically, that's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, I sleep 4 to 5 hours. But do you you also have a job, Water? You go out and do stuff, right? See, so he's trying to get him up on the English jargon, mate. No, it's not. It's not mate. It's Matt. Yeah. Let's see. I can't do that. I need beauty rest. You see what you're dealing with here, Clips. Roadkill says, yeah, probably slept around 5 or 6 hours a night. Horrible sleeper. I toss and turn. I think I'm insomniac. I just have never been. It's just genetics. Like my mom, my dad don't really sleep that long. My brother, we don't sleep. Like it's just inherited. Yeah, weekend Saturday is my day where I'll get an 8 hours in. Saturday morning, my wife lets me sleep. Oh, those are the worst, Water. That's the worst, man. When you do the night shift, I used to do that for so many years. You wake up, you have to have blackout curtains because you just can't sleep. As soon as that sun bursts through any kind of light whatsoever, you're like, I'm up. That's it. It's over. All right. Let's talk about the first story, which is the last story we talked about yesterday. What's going on, Mo? What's going on, Aku? Waterbear says there's a certain mutation certain people have that allows them to recover fully off 4 to 5 hours sleep. I do 4 to 5 hours on average. And on Wednesdays, which is today, I take a 20-minute nap in the afternoon. My son, I pick him up from school. Right? I come home. He knows. He's like, good night. I said, I'll see you in 20 minutes. I pass out. I'm like re-energized for like the entire week. That's like my quick charge, right? That's my quick charge. Wednesday nap day. I don't know why we stopped taking naps. Naps are fantastic. All right. So yesterday, right at the end of the show, Okay, we talked about Xbox Game Pass price gets a massive cut. Now, you could go look at the internet like completely losing their mind and coming up with different things and whatnot. I didn't think, I mean, even on the podcast last week on Generation X Gaming, I said, I don't think they're going to, right? I said, I don't think they're going to lower the price. They did. They lowered the price from 30 down to 22. Okay. But the issue is it enough? Is it enough for them to lower the price back down to 22 for people that were paying 20 and they thought 20 was that max number, right? We talked about this in the past. We've talked about how high would you people go? And some of you said I would go like 22. Some people said I would go 25. Then they went 30. And you're like, people are like, I'm done. I'm not paying for it anymore. I don't use Game Pass for its full potential for the first-party games. My son uses it for all the other games. So we're looking at it now to see if we can even drop it even lower because of certain games. But he does play some Ubisoft Plus games, right? So we don't know if we can lower it yet. But Jez Gordon, down here at the bottom of the article here, I think this is where he talks about it. Let me see. He talks about like an a la carte type of thing. Is this where it is? Okay. So here it says, Microsoft sources tell me that the longer term goal for Xbox and Xbox Game Pass is to make it more flexible. Okay. Now, we've been asking this for a really long time. Some of you guys are asking for a family plan. Some people are asking for, I don't want this. I don't want that. We talked about it when they put the Fortnite thing in. I was like, I don't really play Fortnite. I don't want to pay for that. Like, do I have to pay for that? Because you're paying for it for the $30, right? It says a sort of pick your own plan formula for Xbox Game Pass is on the cards, which seems fantastic if it's true. Essentially, where users can effectively decide what packages of content they want to see as part of their plan. Now, Microsoft has leaked the Duet and the Triton, code names for Xbox Game Pass via its back-end APIs recently, suggesting that packages of service are on the plan's on the plan's future. So he says, I don't want Xbox Cloud Gaming. So you remove that, right? So if it lowers the price. I don't want the Fortnite crew. Maybe you get rid of that. Like, ditch it. At the end of the day, Xbox games, perhaps you can roll in World of Warcraft or Minecraft Realm subscriptions instead, or even the other benefits like Netflix per rumors. Okay, the long-awaited Xbox Game Pass family plan. This right here, I think, is the answer to Xbox and to Game Pass. I think Game Pass should be that $10, $12, around that mark, right? And that gets you the basics of, let me see if I scroll up here, if he has it, right? I think this price point, like right here, the essential price point between that and the PC Game Pass. PC Game Pass to me has the correct price point of what Game Pass should be. Okay? For $13.99, which was $11.99, right? You get the Windows PC only, right? But let's just say that's Xbox only and also, or Windows PC only, all depends on where you are, right? You get 400 plus games on PC games, okay? You can also get, if you were just on the console, whatever. We're talking about if you are just doing a la carte type of stuff, okay? You get day one Xbox Studio titles, including Call of Duty for PC over here, okay? EA Play Vault access, Ubisoft Classic access, 40 plus games, member deals and discounts, and in-game benefits for Riot Games, Overwatch, etc. Okay, I think that right there is a good price point. Now, there's the Game Pass Premium, which is $15, which gets you Xbox, PC, and cloud, hundreds, right, 200 plus curated Xbox, PC, and cloud games, unlimited access to cloud gaming, streaming of your own stream, member deals, discounts, online console players, console multiplayer, new Xbox Game Studio titles added to a year after launch, but not Call of Duty. Microsoft rewards from gaming up to $50 per year, and in-game benefits of Riot Games Overwatch, right? If they do this, where Game Pass goes down, get rid of Ultimate, right? You get rid of Ultimate. You get rid of all the other ones. You just have these two, PC and console. And from this, you could add, right? So everyone comes in at that $14.99, which is $15 or $13 or $14, wherever you are. And that's it. That's the baseline across the board. Now, if you, the gamer, want EA Play, right? You're like, oh, I play that. You can add it to your plan. So it goes from the base plan of $14.99, and then you make the choice of the value that you want. Let's say you want to play, like Jez Corden says, maybe you want World of Warcraft combined in with that. So you add that to your plan. You want Minecraft Realms, you add that to your plan, right? You make it super convenient because because it's all Microsoft games, instead of paying for this and paying for that and paying for this, you just put it in one lump sum and you make the Game Pass plan that you would like to make. I think that would go over really well. Not only that, I think you would have more people, just like you have with free to play games, people spend more money. If you tell people that the only price, not the base price, right? The only price is the $15, and this is what you get the standard for, let's just say, these two levels. And then you add stuff on top of it based on what you want. You want the Fortnite crew in there? Boom, it gets included, right? Now, the pricing of that, obviously, is it $2 for each thing you add on? Does it change and vary based on what you want to add to it? Perhaps. But I think that's the smart plan they could do. Ron says there should be a Redfall Mind's Eye plan. That's right. It should be they pay you to play them. But I truly believe that. Right? I think the a la carte that he's talking about, where you could just ditch, right? So essentially, if you don't want the cloud gaming, then you don't pay for the cloud gaming. If you don't want the Fortnite crew, then you don't pay for Fortnite crew. If you don't want the EA or the Ubisoft Plus included in the thing, then you don't pay it. So it drops in price. So it goes to that base price. So instead of opting out, right, you're opting in for these things. They give you the value, and then you go in and say, well, I want this, 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 and this. And then that's what you do, right? That way, if you, let's say you're traveling and you want to just do the cloud gaming, you could add the cloud gaming. You could take away the cloud gaming. You could add the realms. You could take away the realms. Instead of, well, I used Realms, but I'm not using Realms anymore. I'm still paying the $30. Or I don't use Fortnite Crew. I haven't played Fortnite in 6 months, but I'm still paying for Fortnite Crew. So you're wasting stuff. It would be respect the player's time, respect the gamer, respect the customer. The customer would be like, yeah, I'll be willing to pay that $15. That's a good value. Okay, and if I want to add more to my value, then I'll add more to it by what I want to use. Instead of, you're paying $30, now 22, right? And when you pay 22, now you get these things, right? You get EA Play, but what about if you're not using EA Play? Right? What about if you're not doing Ubisoft Plus? What about if you're not using the Riot Games, Overwatch, etc., and the Fortnite Crew subscription? But you want the other benefits of this. They should change it. This is a smart move. If Asha wants to make a change, in my opinion, and what Jez wrote here, I think it would be a smart decision, okay, if we could do a la carte for game. And this goes forward to any company out there, right? PlayStation gets a Game Pass type of thing, or Luna wants to do something. It should be a la carte. It shouldn't be forced to, this is what you get, and you don't use half the stuff, right? And obviously, if they add something down the line, which again, I don't think they should add more tiers based on what he's saying. If it's a la carte, then you don't need just the first party title tier. You don't need the ad tier. You just get the tier that it is, and then a la carte everything else on top of that. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Would you be interested if they lowered the price and kept it at that middle tier where they're right now with Game Pass Premium? Just get rid of the premium. It's just called Game Pass. It'd be Game Pass for console, Game Pass for PC, right? PC Game Pass and just Game Pass. You have the $14 or $15 and the $14 plans, and that's it. And if you want to add more stuff to it or do more things with it, then you can add and subtract what you want. Let me know in the comments section. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat as well. And if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Mo says, man, I'm trying to get this battle pass done for Fortnite because I want Bugs Bunny. It says, I'll renew my PC Game Pass for Beast of Reincarnation because Travis said, if I like it, he will buy it for me. Well, there you go. Eclipse says, if Xbox makes online free, they would probably do that for Xbox also because it's pretty much the same thing. The weird part is the online console multiplayer. They should just get rid of that. Just take it out. It's automatically included. You don't tell people it's there. It's like stop. Like just make it like the PC. Why is it free over here? Right? Why is it free on PC, but you got to pay for it on console? Stop it. We're so outdated with that stuff. Warbear says, I really wonder how they will do a WoW if it comes to Game Pass. You'll have to pay monthly for WoW and Game Pass, or you'll have to include it in Game Pass subscription. I've always said they'll add it to Game Pass, right? And people are like, oh, well, they'll lose a lot of money if they want to bloat the numbers, right? And I've said this in the past. If they just take, because there's Blizzard.net, huge. There's like 35 million people that use Blizzard.net, right? And they also have another 35 million people that are using Game Pass. If you're paying $15 a month, right, for your World of Warcraft, but they want to inflate the numbers for Game Pass, they could just move people over and say, yeah, you have World of Warcraft, right? And then those people would come in and pay the $15, and they still get World of Warcraft, and now they get a whole bunch of other bonuses as well. A lot of people, he actually says it, I believe in this article, he talks about World of Warcraft and says that they would lose a lot of money. Yeah, right here. Microsoft hasn't included the service like World of Warcraft, Fallout First, or Minecraft Realms and Xbox Pass Ultimate for these exact reasons. So up here he says, it might seem odd from the outset that other big service games like Forza Horizon, for example, will remain on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate services. The Ultimate /pun Game Pass was designed for these franchises and the studios in mind initially. When Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, including Call of Duty and Xbox Game Pass was always going to be a risk. The business model for Call of Duty is more fragile than you might think, despite the fact that Call of Duty makes absolutely enormous amounts of cash if it also cuts enormous amount of money to run. He goes into here. It says sources say that Xbox Game Pass cannibalizes retail sales for the first-party games. Microsoft uses that weighted formula to charge Xbox Game Pass profits back to the affected studio's budget. Microsoft needed a flywheel of content on Xbox Game Pass to prevent the offset subscription churn. It says, i.e. unsubscribing. So if Call of Duty vacuums up the disproportionate amount of Xbox Game Pass budget due to cannibalization, when there's less money on the table, new games month over month. Okay, so they don't want to add, which they could. They could add World of Warcraft, Fallout First, Minecraft Realms as a bonus, but you would start to eat into this. But again, if they wanted to bloat the numbers for Game Pass, and Game Pass is their thing, again, they still have like 35 million users on Blizzard.net. It'd be interesting, right? I still think they're going to add it at some point. But then, again, it might be a completely different tier. Over the years, we've talked about an MMO tier. We've talked about an Activision tier. We've talked about just basically everything. We've always thrown stuff at the wall to see what would stick and see what they would do. So I haven't played a Call of Duty. I don't care if they put it free on Game Pass. I still didn't play it. I don't care. All right, let's see. So PlayStation Premium worth free 99 cents. This is not PlayStation actually good Eclipse. It's the same. To say it's good, it's the exact same. So basically Sling TV for Xbox. Sure. Or any other service. The cable network. Basic cable television. You want this package? You want to watch this? You want to watch HBO? You want to watch Showtime? You add it to your thing instead of paying for it and not using it. Jesse Mack says the most players want to get a family plan on Game Pass, less for the cost. Ron says, I got PlayStation Plus for Foam Stars. I also canceled PlayStation Plus for Foam Stars. Eclipse says, I got a feeling eventually you'll just be paying for Game Pass and not online, the Xbox, because they're also the Steam, and they also own on the console. Yeah, they kind of already do that, though, right? Like, I'm trying to think, where's that? Because the basic Game Pass, right? The basic Game Pass Essential, right? Game Pass Essential Online console multiplayer. That's included. So $10 a month, you're no longer paying for online. Before you were, right? Because you were just paying for online multiplayer. Now you're giving you 50 games, unlimited access to cloud gaming, right? They're giving you discounts, Microsoft Reward Program, in benefits for Riot Games. And this is just, I mean, it's here to show you it's part of the value because they want to show value. But $10, you're no longer just paying $10 to play online. Now you're paying, remember, that used to be just gold. You had to pay for gold to play online. Now Game Pass gets you, it's $10. So really, you're not really paying for the online anymore. Titan says, I think PlayStation and Xbox has to pay for the admin fees, security fees, etc. So we have to pay the online. Someone with the knowledge can correct me. Correct. But what I'm saying is you're not really paying for that anymore. There's so much value inside there that you're not paying to play online. You're paying for all their benefits. It's just that the online is part of that. Now, obviously, if you don't want Game Pass, right? If you don't want a Game Pass and you want to play online, you can't. That's how they get you. Waterbed says, I bet the next Call of Duty is actually a good one. Because last one was trash. They also got to recover a profit that was also lost the year of the travesty. It could. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say it's bad because it's been bad. What's going on, gentlemen? Mo says, I want the family plan, and that's all. Mo, if you get a family plan, like what do you pay? If you don't mind me asking, what are you paying now that you want a family plan? Like if you're paying, let's say, for 2 accounts, you're paying $30, $40. But a family plan comes out and it's $40. What's the difference? Jack says, even if they add World of Warcraft, they would have to adjust the price again if it should also be able to change from Fortnite Crew. But that's the whole point, Jax. That's what I'm saying. If they added a World of Warcraft, you, the customer, get to meal piece the thing that you want to play. So you're not putting it that everyone that gets this gets to play World of Warcraft. The people that want to play World of Warcraft and want to put and add it to their Game Pass, they can do that. That's my point. The whole a la carte thing. It's a buffet, right? You go up there and pay and get the stuff. Well, not really a buffet. A buffet is one full price. You eat everything you want. It's a la carte. You're basically just taking what you want to pay for. Windows says, 30. What do you think this looks now on PlayStation with raising their PlayStation Plus price, but now Xbox lowering them? Did they raise PlayStation? What did PlayStation Plus raise their prices to? I didn't hear. Did they? I know they raised the price of their consoles. Did they raise the price of PlayStation Plus? Clip says, exactly. I can't play online with my Xbox right now because I don't want to use my Game Pass codes. Right. So if you don't have Game Pass, you can't play online. But if you pay for Game Pass, it's automatically included. Krebsy says, not yet. So then what's Winzo asking? What do you think this looks like now on PlayStation with raising their PlayStation Plus prices? They did a while back. What did they raise it to? They only raised like $2, didn't they? Are you talking like last year, like during the summer? They haven't raised it since then. I'll be honest. I don't remember what they raised it to. So let me see what PlayStation Plus prices are.
The difference is Mo can pretend to be Vin Diesel and save family.
Thank you, Aku. Thank you, Russ, for the $5 super chat. Yeah, so here it says, PlayStation Plus in the U.S. offers 3 main tiers of varying prices, generally starting at $10 a month, $24.99 for 3 months, and $79. The higher tiers, extra and premium, offer larger game catalogs. Okay. The essential is $80 for the year, $135 a year, and $160. They're still way under. Still way under. These are much better prices than what Xbox is doing. let's see. Mr. Z says, PlayStation Plus, I only used for Classic. It was great. But then they decided to buy the Battle Engine, Omen, and canceled it. I don't have the time to keep it open. An app escape. Sly. Last time PlayStation Plus raised their prices was September 23rd, according to ChatGPT. I remember they raised their price. As of April 2026, rumors and reports suggest another potential PlayStation Plus price. That's rumors and reports. Yeah. As of late, the current context is after 2023. So 12-month subscription, it's still a better price. Now, obviously, their prices are still cheaper. $159 for premium. What's the price for Xbox for premium? Their premium price is $15. So we're talking 15 times 12. It's $180. It's the same price, right? It's the same price. Well, actually, no, it's not. Sorry. $180. PlayStation's $160. So it's $20 cheaper. The Essential is $10. So that's $120. PlayStation's is $80. So PlayStation still has better pricing. So PlayStation has room to play, even with Xbox even dropping down because they're still cheaper. Jesse Mack says for the Canadians, PlayStation Plus is Essential $109, up to 94, extra 189, up from 154, and premium 224, up 189. They raised in 2025, but that was regional. Yeah. That's what Jesse Mack's saying right now. Yeah, they didn't raise it for the states. They YouTube just raised their prices regionally as well. So some of you guys are paying more for if you're already a member of a YouTube channel, if you already paid for it, you're grandfathered in. But if you get a new subscription or a membership to a channel, it's regionally went up in price. So if you guys didn't know that, they changed it regionally on YouTube. There's 2 sub offers, different things. That was it. Then it got raised in my region in 2025. Yeah. So they raise it in your region. That's regional pricing. That's completely different than. I mean, it's not different, but it is different. It's because it's not worldwide. It's regional pricing based on the economic times. So, but yeah, so they did raise it for you, but they didn't raise it for everybody. Mr. Z says Sony is offering a premium to me for $159. $13 a month, not bad to return. But nope, backlog of Crimson Desert or End Crimson Desert. I don't know. I just think it's smart. Going back to the Xbox stuff, right? Going back to Xbox, if you could do an a la carte, and Xbox puts it in the hands of you, the gamer, where you're like, I want Game Pass. Obviously, the $10 one is the bare minimum. If they put it at the 15, 14 for PC and console, that's it. There's not one above. Anything above that is you deciding what you want to add. So if you want to add this, $2. If you want to add that, another $2, add that. That to me respects the player's time, respects the players as a customer, just respects the players. And then it gets more people to go, oh, maybe more people would come in at that $15 price point and then get value for that. If Netflix has that deal with them and you want Netflix in that, maybe it's a deal. Maybe you're only paying $7 for Netflix on top of that instead of paying the $11 or whatever, right? So they save you money there, so you're paying towards that. Whatever it is, right? You want World of Warcraft, you want Realms, you want whatever. That would be much better. Again, we're basing this off of Jez Gordon saying they're talking about, again, there's rumors. Okay, let me scroll down again. Right? I'm not making shit up just to make it up. Right? He's saying right? He's saying Microsoft sources tell me that longer-term goal for Xbox Game Pass is to make it more flexible, a sort of pick-your-own plan. Now, if that's to add more different values, more different tiers, if it's a family plan, if it's a la carte type of thing, Jez Gordon's pretty spot on when it comes to rumors and stuff and sources. I'm not saying it's 100% all the time, but he's pretty good when he says something. He's like, I heard this, and then usually that happens, right? He heard that this was going to happen, that they were going to actually back down the price. He heard that they were going to get rid of Call of Duty, and it happens that he was right. Krebsy says, on paper, it sounds potentially interesting, but it's Microsoft. How they get it? How would they fuck it up? Well, they would fuck it up in some way, shape, or form. The low $10 is only a tease. See what you're getting. Yeah, it's that pricing they do in what we talked about Ubisoft back in the day, Mr. Z. Where they're like, well, you could pay $60, or you could pay $100, or you could pay $120, or you could pay $18. All that stuff before is just to show you that last column is really, really enticing. It's to entice you to go up. Sometimes they have two prices. Even the Xbox Series S to the X is there to entice you to go, well, here this is, but just for a little bit more, you can get that. So that's why the $10 is there. Ron says, at least Microsoft is trying something different, unlike those two other companies. It's because the other companies don't have to, right? They don't have to. That's what happens when you're the leader in the market. And when you're falling behind, you gotta try a little harder. You gotta try a little harder. Or just try. Not even harder. You just gotta try. Titan says Amazon Luna does add-ons like Ubisoft games. Do you know what they charge for that, Titan? Like, what's the base Luna? And then what do they charge if you add, how much different is it in price? Jason says we get scammed so hard in Canada. Well, it's because you guys are too nice. It's because you're too nice. You gotta start speaking up, not apologizing before you speak. I'm gonna be rude now. I'm so sorry. Sorry, but this is not right. Right? You guys are too polite. You guys get fired up. They're like, they're Canadian. They're not gonna get mad at us. They're just gonna keep paying the stuff. See, over here, they're like, don't kill us. We'll lower the price. Correction, Amazon Luna is removing Ubisoft games on June 10th. Right, it's not included anymore, but can you pay for the upgrade? I think it's smart if they do it. If it happens to become true and you can add the cloud, you can add the Fortnite, you can add the other stuff, I think that would win a lot of people over. That would win a lot of people over. I'm always about people. I always have this conversation with a local business owner I go to breakfast with, right? Young guy. He's like 25 years old. He's owned the restaurant for like 3-4 years. He's turned it around like dramatically from what it was before. The owner before. Place was dead. People didn't like to show up, right? This young guy, okay, took it over, and he's about quantity, right? Quantity of people coming in. Keep the prices low. Like he's eating the cost, okay, but at the same time, he's making more money because the place is constantly packed, right? The other place used to be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? He's only open breakfast and lunch and one day for dinner on Fridays, okay? He's turned it completely around. Every time you walk into that place, there's constant just flow of people coming in, right? He's got loss leaders on the board as far as like you get breakfast and he might lose on that particular breakfast, but he's making money up on the other things, right? It's the goodwill that you put out to the customers that you're like, hey, yeah, I like your business, right? He goes around, he talks to people, he respects them, right? It doesn't matter if the person's an asshole or if they're super nice to the point, right? He tells his staff, right? He tells his staff, hey, because that person's like, I don't want to deal with that person. They don't tip well. And he goes, let me tell you something, because he's told me this. He's let me tell you something, right? That person is just as important as the person that doesn't tip or that does tip, because it averages out, okay? That person comes back and pays money for the food that you're coming in, which is paying money in your pocket. So we treat everyone the same, right? Respect. That's what it is, right? Now, obviously, if it gets out to a certain point, you don't like that person, you can ask them to leave. But he's very smart businessman, right? And he's keeping his prices low, respecting, hearing what the customers ask, because he's like, when everyone was raising their prices, all the breakfast places were raising their prices, he stayed the same. He had to raise a little bit, but he stayed pretty much the same. He kept certain things on the board that was cheap for people to come in. And it works. This is the same thing, right? If Xbox could respect the players, keep that price point, right? Now, obviously, this means that you're going to have to get rid of people. Your staff, you got way too many people. And Krebsy, I think yesterday said that there's rumors that they're going to get rid of 3,500 more people. Krebsy, is that what you said? Right? That's going to happen. They got to clean house because they were bloated. Production values are way up high. Okay, too many people in the kitchen doing certain things, and they're not providing good product. Right? And that's another thing. He got rid of the shitty cook and brought in someone that was a better cook. Right? You might pay a little bit more for that cook, but it brings the people in. Keep the prices down. Pay your employees. Right? Keep the people coming in. So when you come in, you're like, wow, this is a good place. Right? Vibe's nice. Staff's nice. Jesse Mack says 30. Remember, we created the war crimes in World War I. What happened? What happened then, Jesse? You guys get a bunch of softies? What's happening? Krebsy says some people cheered for Activision Blizzard deal for COD to land on Game Pass, and these people are okay with COD leaving. Then they're having let's say Forza leave is easier. COD getting day and date removed is just the first. A lot of people are upset about this because they're like, well, if you take Call of Duty away, what else are you going to take away? And my thing is, from the very beginning, I've always said, because they're like, they can't make this exclusive when they were talking about Starfield. I was like, they can. If they want to. They put it on there and say that's where it is. That's how it is. If they want to remove something from Game Pass and say, well, we're not putting Forza on Game Pass day and date, that could be, right? I think Jez, he does say it here. Hold on a second. In his article, he talks about, I think I already read the paragraph. Let me see if it's here. Extra $1 over previous $19. Found limited that there's flexibility to improve. It might seem odd. Okay. Yeah. So right here, I've already read this part, but we'll read it again, right? It says it might seem odd from the outset that the other big service games like Forza Horizon, for example, will remain in Game Pass Ultimate services, right? Game Pass was designed with these franchises and studios in mind initially. Okay, so there's certain games that are out there. Again, you got to remember, though, Forza Horizon is a built from the ground up a live service game, right? Forza 4, Forza 5, now Forza 6. It's built from the ground up that fits perfectly on Game Pass, right? We can agree with that. Sea of Thieves was built from the ground up as a Game Pass game, right? A lot of these games that were designed from the ground up fit perfectly because they were these live service types games where they have people coming back in. Fallout 76 is a perfect game now to be on Game Pass. These types of games, now, obviously, that game wasn't initially set for Game Pass, but it fits because of the way the business model is. Okay. But Call of Duty wasn't meant for that. Right? Call of Duty wasn't meant for that because there's a new Call of Duty every year. There's not a new Forza every year. There's not a new Sea of Thieves every year. So certain games fit on the platform, and they're supposed to fit because they were planned to fit, where the other ones are not designed for that from the ground up. Travis says, this reminds me of actually going to breakfast with my friend tomorrow for our little breakfast place in town. I love going to breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite thing. I can have breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can have it for breakfast, dinner, brunch, lunch. I made a couple things up there. Let's see. Krebsy says, I said yesterday, remember it's 2023, it was said that Activision Blizzard doesn't raise the price of Game Pass for Call of Duty to get removed, the price lowered. Let's see here. Jason says, tipping culture has gotten so stupid. Did you know wait staff gets paid like they get paid well? And they get tips? I might quit this. I'll be honest with you. I might go get a job as a waiter. Ron says the plan's the plan until it's no longer the plan. That's exactly right. It's a perfect song. Go pick that up now on Spotify. Plan's the plan. Titan says Ubisoft Plus on Luna removed April 2026. Cloud access ends June 2026. Previous Ubisoft Plus on Luna cost $17.99 a month. Offered 45 plus Ubisoft titles. Luna is $10. So there you go. So it almost went up. Man, it's $8 just if you want Ubisoft. If that's a person that you like and you wanted to back then when it worked, why not? Right? You want Luna, but if you want Ubisoft, you pay extra. Altered says the Pentiment was built from the ground up to be on Game Pass because no one was going to buy it. Yeah. Grounded, that's built to be on Game Pass. And now Grounded 2, built to be on Game Pass. Waterbear says, put eggs in everything I eat. So it's considered a breakfast no matter what time I eat. I love eggs. Do you have chickens at your house or anything, Water? Or do you just buy eggs? Man, you should get some chickens. If you eat eggs every single day, you get yourself 2 chickens. You get 2 chickens, and you, my friend, have fresh eggs every day. Waiter, not with this COVID brain? Are you kidding me? They use toast now. You know what toast is, Mr. Z? I don't need COVID brain to remember what you ordered. I'm sitting right there just, yeah. That's it. You don't even need a brain anymore to be a waiter to do stuff. Right? You just, yeah. Okay, great. There you go. Done. Hell, you know what? I'll go to one of those places where all I do is bring out the food. I'm the waiter. You order it with scanning your phone, and then I just bring it out because I can read a screen. I eat between 8 and 14 eggs a day. That's the truth. Holy Christ! You're gonna need at least 12 chickens. 12 chickens, and you get a whole flock of chickens. Jack says, "What if Obsidian does Avowed 2, and you have to wait a year for it to drop in Game Pass Ultimate?" Okay. I have a question. What is the problem? Right? What is the problem? Here's my question to you, Jax. If you want to play Avowed 2, right? You love Avowed. You want to play Avowed 2. You can also purchase it. You can buy it. And if you don't want to buy it for full price, then you have to wait for it to go on sale to buy it. And if you don't want to buy it on sale, then you would have to wait a full year to then get it on Game Pass. What is the problem there? Krebsy says pick Sonic to keep things interesting. Like, what is the big deal? Again, I've been on record saying I like PlayStation's business model of not putting stuff on PlayStation Plus for a year. Because you don't cannibalize your brand new games. Dustin says, I don't have to go out to eat. I have my own chef that cooks for me. Fantastic. Are you like, little by little, I picture Dustin, right? Chat, I don't know if maybe you guys do this too, right? He buys everything, doesn't play anything. It's a joke, right? And now he's got a chef. I think we found it. Did you guys ever see the show Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder? You ever see that? That's what I picture Dustin as now. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm picturing. Water Bear says, nah, but a chicken did visit my house for some weird reason and left. I felt like it was in Fable and IRL. You should find a local. Maybe you have one. You buy store-bought eggs, and you go through that many. You should find a local farm near you. They would love you. Man, if you live next to me, I give you a box. I give you a flat of eggs, a whole box. We could sell you. You would eat those throughout the week. Jack says, I have no problem buying Avowed or any other game that's now on Game Pass. But then what's the question, though, right? You're saying, what if Obsidian and Avowed 2, you have to wait a year? You wait a year. That's it. If you don't want to buy the game, then you have to wait. This is the exact same thing that's happening in the movie industry right now, right? Movies shouldn't come out super fast where they're on streaming services. If you want to go see that movie, you got to go to the theater. And if you don't want to see that movie, then you got to wait. That's the whole thing. You should wait. Altern says, the chef is his mom, I bet. That'd be weird, though. Would you call her chef or would you call her mom? Yes, chef. Aku says, most of the additions to the conversation of war crimes Genevieve covers POWs are because of either Canada or Germany. It says, I need to. I would save money for sure. 100%. If you're eating that many eggs, you either buy your own goddamn chickens or find someone local. Why not both? Yes, chef mom. Jesse says, PlayStation didn't put out their games, PlayStation Plus, on day one. They wait for a couple of months for the game to bring into PlayStation Plus. Sometimes they wait 9 months to a year to bring them out, Jesse. Yeah. Some games are sooner rather than later. But think about that. It's a smart business move. Movie theaters are dying because they're doing exactly what Game Pass is doing, day and date. There goes 17 days, 18 days from the theater, and you're like, I'll just wait 3 weeks. Right? Wait 3 weeks is nothing. That's like a blink of an eye. Right? Back in the day, you had to wait 13 months. And you're like, I'm gonna go to the movies to watch that because I need to. All right, let's go. Let's go to the other Xbox story here. Excuse me. All right, so Xbox VP clarifies first-party Project Helix rumors. I haven't really been following this because we haven't really been talking about Helix or anything like that on this channel. So this is all pretty much new to me. So if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Xbox VP clarifies first-party Project Helix rumors. An Xbox VP has clarified rumors about whether the Project Helix will be the first-party or third-party console. For those unaware, the new Xbox CEO Asha Sharma revealed that the code name for the next-generation console is Project Helix later at GDC. It's also revealed that the developer will receive an alpha version for the upcoming console in 2027. Now, a VP has clarified some details about the upcoming console. Okay. Project Helix is a first-party Xbox console. There has been some recent confusion regarding whether or not Project Helix is a third-party or first-party console. Jason Ronald, the VP of Xbox, has confirmed that it is indeed a first-party console. The confusion arose from a thread from NeoGAF, which also Kepler L2 stated that the Project Helix won't be sold directly to consumers, but you will also be able to buy an Asus, MSI, etc. Helix machine when asked whether or not the AMD would eventually sell the Helix chip. Jason Ronald quickly cleared the air by stating Project Helix will be available at first-party Xbox console, or the first-party Xbox console. However, that's not where it ends, as there is also questions of whether or not Helix chip is available to other hardware manufacturers and just the console. The VP did not answer that question. From what we know, the Project Helix features a custom AMD SoC as AMD FSR next to the deep texture compression. So it says in other news this week that also focus on games. So that's it. So it's not really answering a lot of stuff here. It's going to be a first-party console. Great. So it's got to have an Xbox logo on it, is what you're saying. But it's going to be It's going to be able to use all Asus, MSI, etc. Cool. Is there going to be a cheaper version and a newer version? Like a high-end version and a cheaper version, just like there is now? Probably. This is why we don't cover stuff like this, because they don't really say much of anything. Titan says, anyone going to be rewatching Endgame in theaters for the critical extra scenes? No. I'll just wait for them to come out on the web. Krebsy says, 12 eggs cost $13. You may be asking, what the fuck is an expensive grocery store in LA? I mean, what kind of eggs are they? The heirloom? The quail? Are they duck? I mean, I think we're doing $3.75 for a dozen. But you could pick your own. Don't quote me on that. I don't even know. I mean, egg prices change all the time, but Altered says, I'd rather look at the scene on YouTube. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Krebsy says, Jason, you didn't answer the question. What are we going to private Helix marketing like the Series S? Yeah, that's what I think they're doing, Krebsy. And a no answer is the answer, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me see, Water. Let me see. Sorry. I'm texting my wife. Those eggs better be laid by sexy ass. I mean, it's fresh eggs. You can go underneath the chicken's ass and grab it yourself, Altern. Let's see. Brown eggs is healthier for you when the white eggs ones are for you. Wait, the brown eggs is healthier for you than the white eggs. It's basically how the chicken is raised, not really the color of the egg, but we have brown eggs. It's the type of bird that we have. We have Rhode Island Reds. Egg pass is coming soon. That'd be pretty good. I love eggs. I too have eggs every day, Water, so. Yeah, there's green eggs, there's brown eggs, there's spotted eggs. I'm not sure if they do. I don't know what they have. Like I said, it's family. It's a family run business, but I don't run it, so I don't know what they have. We have a pretty extensive store now that's over there now. When I started, I was the first person to run the business. It was we were in a converted house. We had a house that was on the property, and we had a table that was maybe 4 feet by 5 feet, and we put two basket of eggs that you pick every morning that you just put on the center of the table, and we had a cheese cooler that maybe had like, I don't know, maybe 7 different types of cheeses. We didn't make those. Those are just like local people that we would bring in. And that was it. That's all we sold. Now we got walk-in coolers and we have tons and tons of meat and stuff like that. This is a semi-joke, but what tier of Game Pass gets Copilot? All of it. All of it. If you like it or not, it's getting it all. It's going in to every single one. Altered says, no, please, not another useless subscription. We already have a sub to use water dispenser, printer leasing on PC, PlayStation 5. We don't need more. Yeah, you always need more subscriptions, Altern. Oh, real quick. There's not going to be a shooting the shit with Sarge tonight, so we might play some more Crimson Desert or what's it called? Windrose. Sarge, we have a friend of ours that's in town down south. He's visiting, so Sarge is going to go out, hang out with him tonight. So there's no shooting the shit with Sarge tonight. Bros before hoes. You figure that out. It's like a brother of ours. I'm the hoe in this situation because he's picking him over me, but it's fine. It's fine. I would too. You guys could be the hoe in this situation. He ditched you. Maybe it's not me. Yeah, I'm the side chick. Yeah. It's all right. I would go too if I didn't live 180 miles away. There would be no show tonight if I lived down there. So in that situation, Altern, you would be the side chick. All right, let's go. That second story was, whatever. I hate stories like that with like the rumor stuff, and then he didn't even answer the fucking question. He didn't even answer the goddamn question. Oh, you're a side chick. You're a side chick, Altern. You don't know how to cook, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right? You're getting better. You got better. Your other picture that you sent was much better than the first time you. All right. The next thing. Who says you don't know how to cook? The picture. The picture says. The picture says. What'd you show the first time? I was like chicken nuggets and whatever else. Meanwhile, Mo's posting like stacks of barbecue, prepping stuff for the next week and a half. Yeah, I know you could cook, Mo. I know. Mo's showing fucking spare ribs, sausage, making sausage and stuff. I'm gonna make a trip to California. I hate California now, but I'm gonna make a trip out there just so I can hang out with Mo to eat his barbecue. You might not like Mo because he's an Xbox fan, but you gotta respect the cooking skills. All right. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you can't get enough of TroyBaker in your video games, well, here's good news. He's going to start making them. Let's just go off the top before I even read anything. Is that a good idea? That's a good idea for TroyBaker? He's like, I got so much money, I'm gonna open up my own gaming studio. Altered says the money he's not spending in Game Pass, he's spending in food. That's true. Very true. Right? So, I don't know. This is a tough business to get into, man. TroyBaker's so busy, he quit his podcast. Really? He doesn't do his podcast anymore? I didn't really watch it, but I thought he was still doing it. Let's see what he's doing, what kind of game he's making. Hopefully it's not one of those, hero shooters. Because, Troy, if you're making a hero shooter, just stop now. Stop now. Please. Please don't do it. All right. TroyBaker, arguably one of the most high prolific voice actors in video games, is undoubtedly one of the most prolific. Why would you do that? You said high profile. Why'd you say anyway? You can't get away with this. You can't get away from this dude like Pedro Pascal. It's been Indiana Jones, Joel and the Last of Us, right? Metal Gear Solid, BioShock, Uncharted, and the list goes on and on. But if you just can't get enough of TroyBaker in your video games, happy days. Baker has announced his intentions via a new interview with Eurogamer to start making things himself. Baker says he's inspired by Abu Baker, who played Assassin's Creed. How do you say that? Baki, among other games and TV roles before founding Surgeon Studios. Okay. It says its debut title, Tales of Kenzura. Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy who made that game for his grandfather, right? He says, I played the hell out of this game, says Baker. And someone who has also deep passion for games has found a way to turn it into a great business endeavor for him. Okay, so now, time to a bit of a name dropping. He said, I've been incredibly opportunity of working with the best in the industry and insane. Okay, from Kojima to Neil Druckmann to Todd Howard to Vince Zampella. These people are in the industry, have worked with these guys and these people and have learned so much from them. He says, quote, and what I'm excited about doing is taking those tenets and taking those principles of widely successful titles, not just in terms of sales and figures, but also the stories that also have defined the industry, and being able to innovate and replicate and emulate those processes of practices into stories that I want to tell. He says, hey, if Baker could pull off a BioShock or Metal Gear Solid as his debut title, that's a lot of it. Hold on a second. Okay. I understand TroyBaker's been in the industry and he does. I don't doubt that he doesn't know what a video game is and how a video game should run. Okay. Just because he's been around people that are doing this. But to make his first game be like that high-end game, like settle, lower the expectations. Right. But right now it sounds like he's very much in pre-planning stages. He says, quote, somebody asked me in one of those meetings, what's your timeline? And I said, not rushed, says Baker. So I'm not going to take my time. I'm going to take my time because I want to make sure that when I finally do tell a story, it's just a high caliber of those that I'm trying to emulate. All right. So such as Baker's, my presidents at the times is easy forgotten by the guy's audibility, very good in his job. Thought his turn of oscillate was excellent. Let's see. Higgs on the Death Stranding is also knowing charm to do it all. I wonder how much inspiration Baker will take from Kojima, perhaps, and end up playing TroyBaker game directed by TroyBaker, written by TroyBaker, with cutscenes by TroyBaker. He better not star in his own game, I'm just saying. Like, if you're going to either do it or don't do it, but don't make your own company and then be the starring actor in your own game. Maybe if you're hard up for cash and you want to do it and you're doing it pro bono for yourself with the great voice actor, maybe. So, let's see. Yeah. So, like, I'll be honest. I think we talk about Asha Sharma and how she doesn't know gaming, right? But she's running a company now. You don't need to run a company or know gaming to run a company, okay? But TroyBaker, he plays video games. He acts in video games. He hangs out with all these people over the years, 20 plus years, okay, with people in video games. You would think that he would know something about video games. He would ask questions, right? Like I talked about, 2 days ago, when we were talking about Mark Daria, right? Where you have to have an idiot at the table. I would ask questions. I would constantly ask questions. I'm assuming TroyBaker, as he says, he worked with these people, probably asked questions, saw how it worked behind the scenes, and was like, you know what? I want to do this. That's how most people become directors in movies, right? Actors act, know nothing about directing, but because they're being directed on all their sets, they start picking up stuff. They start learning things, and they're like, you know what? I can direct. Some people like to direct the actors. Some people like to direct the film. Some people are good at both, right? So as an actor, I think he has the potential of making a really good fucking video game as a story. Now, coding the video game, I don't think he knows anything about that, but that's why you hire people to do that, right? But him telling a story, I think he could tell a good story. So I'm also not going to go out there and say he's going to be the next Kojima, right? It could be a side scroller. We have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm interested. I'm interested to see what TroyBaker does. I'm a fan of his. I like his work. I think he did a phenomenal job with Indiana Jones. I think he does a phenomenal job with all the stuff that he's done. I love Uncharted. So as a voice actor, he's smashing it, right? As a studio head, well, that's yet to be written. But I think he's got way more experience than other people that have been in that just want to start let me put it this way. Who's got more experience? A person that just wants to make a video game that's never worked in the industry at all? Or TroyBaker that's been working in the industry for 20 years, even though he hasn't made a video game, but he's worked on so many video games? Who would you put in charge of a studio? TroyBaker has been in the industry for 20 years, hasn't made a video game, or someone that's never made a video game that wants to make a video game? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. You let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. He's a great voice actor. Yeah, he's a great voice actor. You think he's just a good voice actor? I think he's a great voice actor. If it wasn't for people like TroyBaker, the art in video game, like, I don't think you would get actors to come over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done such a good job with voice acting. He's made video games move up to the next one. Yeah, so here, my wife got back to me. Oh, hold on. What's it? Because she said a price, but she's asking a whole bunch of questions, like wholesale. What she thinks I'm selling right now. No, I just want the standard price. Okay, so right now just a dozen jumbo eggs. I don't know if that's what you use. Water is $6.99. $6.99. So $7. Yeah, it's not just a simple question. I was like, just a dozen eggs. She's like, do you want this one? Do you want this one? Do you want that one? Wholesale? Do you want? Jesse says, 30, do you want Han Solo game from his own Harrison Ford voice? Be worth the wait. I mean, now if we're going to fantasize here, Jesse, if you take TroyBaker and he wants to reenact Harrison Ford's voice as Han Solo, if someone does a mod for Star Wars Outlaws, puts Han and Chewie in the game and TroyBaker's voice for Han Solo, I'm sold. That game becomes a much better game if it's Han Solo and Chewbacca. Dead serious. Changing nothing else, right? Changing nothing else. Just putting Han Solo and Chewbacca in that game, it's a 10 times better game. Even with the still broken stuff that was broken at the start, 100% would have been a better game. I would love a Han Solo game. Ron says Pedro Pascal will play TroyBaker. TroyBaker's game based off of Pedro Pascal. Big Mo says I get 60 eggs for $8. 60 eggs. I think we could. Hold on. Hold on, because I just texted my wife because she said something earlier, and I was like, that can't be the right price. Han Solo game already exists called Star Trucker. It's not the same. It's missing Chewie and Star Wars. Craig says Vampire Crawlers is out. Pretty fun and cheap. Is it on Game Pass? I mean, I know it's cheap. I'm just saying, isn't it on Game Pass? Titan says, I don't want Han to be the main playable character. Maybe because we know how Disney ended his career. I think it'd be cool to play. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Titan. I would rather have a Han Solo game than the Solo movie they made. Is this an Xbox show? I mean, it can be. And I'm not sure when it comes out. This summer, I think, Water? Okay, so you can get medium flats right now. My wife's telling me you can get medium flats. It's BOGO right now. BOGO right now, $10.95. So we got 60 eggs for $10.95. That's medium flats, BOGO. Sorry, medium flats. So we're not beating Costco prices, but you know. Did you guys see what they did in Disney? Have you guys seen this? I said, fuck Disney when they did this, right? Not that this is not that I even give a shit anymore, but so at the park, okay, do they have a picture of them? Oh, they don't have a picture of them. So you can't make this stuff up. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. So Disney admits that it made a multi-billion-dollar mistake with Star Wars Land. Okay, not only did they admit for 14 years, they've had for 14 years, they've had the Star Wars brand. Okay. Not one time. Now, obviously, Darth Vader was in the parks. There was like a little section over by Star Tours, where you can have a little experience with your kids and they fight, Darth Vader and whatnot. Okay. They admit it just now. That's right. Okay. So now, 14 years later, they finally put in Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and they're walking around the park. Now, again, I don't care if they look like the characters. The point is the characters were never walking around the park. Okay. Now, obviously, the park hasn't been open for 14 years for the Star Wars Land. Okay, but it's been open for like 6 or 7. It was supposed to be originally when they opened the park, it was supposed to be Tatooine. It was supposed to be from the original trilogy. They were supposed to have banthas that you could ride around the actual land. Okay, there was like this ride, and there's still track is still there, but they ditched it all. And only after Kathleen Kennedy left did they admit to themselves. They're like, "Oh yeah, we should add." So now, at least in LA, okay, or in California, they've added Han, Luke, Leia, and C-3PO, R2D2. Okay, it says so. It was just a few short years ago, Walt Disney Company was proudly announcing the opening of a Star Wars-themed land, multiple parks across the country. Okay, Disney invested billions of dollars into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, designed and constructed based on a fictional world called Batuu. They hyped up the technology, immersive elements meant to enhance the guest experience and allow the fans to spend hours at the Galaxy's Edge and return time and time again to build up the experience points, interacting with props and characters. Okay, Batuu was purposely set in the world of the newest trilogy, led by the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren, all thanks to the advance of then head Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy to Disney CEO Bob Iger. Okay, so, and now, just a few years of in operation, the new leadership at the top are completely changing the entire plan behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the process of admitting they completely missed the mark with their multi-billion-dollar project. This is what we're talking about when we say that these corporate people do not know what they're doing. Okay? I don't care what you think about if you like Star Wars, you don't like Star Wars. There's millions of people, millions, hundreds of millions of people that love Star Wars. Star Wars, up until Disney purchased them, was the biggest brand in the world. Was one of the best trilogies in the world. Okay? Anybody that knew about Star Wars, like, dude, making a Star Wars park, people dreamed up like Epcot as a Star Wars park, right? With all the different thematic things and stuff like that. They're like, if this ever happened, it'd be amazing. Disney decided to take the biggest franchise with the well-known characters and completely uplift it and do what they wanted. They opened up a hotel, which was $5,000 for 2 nights. It stayed open for 18 months. Imagine having the biggest franchise in the world, and you couldn't even do that correctly. A thematic hotel, you couldn't even do it correctly. Right? So Star Wars Land brings back the original characters. One former top executive of Walt Disney World once explained in the interview that why Galaxy's Edge focused on the new trilogy and not beloved original movies and the characters, because Kathleen Kennedy gave awful advice to Bob Iger. Here's what I can't get my head through. I had a video years and years ago that I said that what if George Lucas put Kathleen Kennedy in there, okay? Kathleen Kennedy in there to kind of break it within. And I thought about that when it first happened years ago, right? But now I look back at this and go, why would George Lucas promote her and then she just shit over everything about what he worked on? Like, it seems this way. I don't know if this is the way it is. It's just the way I'm looking at it, okay? It seems to me that Kathleen Kennedy hates George Lucas. Hates George Lucas because you watch the interviews. She talks about him like he's dead, right? She talks about him in front of him like she's going to respect the stuff, right? Says he didn't even work on certain things, right? Like, it's so disrespectful in so many different ways. She ran the company that he built and yet destroyed it in 12 years. 12 years, she destroyed it. The biggest IP, arguably the biggest IP. Okay? It says, quote, we got called one day, said former WDW VP Dan Cockerell, and said that we got some news for y'all. And Imagineering guys, they've heard the line many, many times during their careers and had never been through this. They said, well, yesterday Bob Iger met with Kathleen Kennedy, who has a lot of people, and they sort of George Lucas protege and headed up on Lucasfilm, and they had a conversation. They had a meeting with Kathleen Kennedy, and her point of view was there are way more Disney Star Wars stories ahead of us than behind us. Imagine. She's not wrong. You can tell plenty of stories ahead. But those are not, you're betting a lot on something that doesn't happen yet. You already know there's tons of people that love the thing that you already have, right? This is the grass is greener on the other side syndrome. You already had hundreds of millions of people, the biggest IP, and you're like, nah, right? Look at Universal Studios with Harry Potter, right? Look at Universal Studios with Harry Potter. All they did was build the stuff from the movie so you, the fan, could go there. Diagon Alley, the train, Hogwarts, right? They've done to the fans. They said, hey, this is what you like. Here you go. You can come to the place that you wanted to go to. Kathleen Kennedy was like, no, I'm smarter than everybody else. I'm going to build something that you guys haven't even seen, and we're going to tell you how we got there by interlinking it with the stories and the comic books and the new movies that you haven't even made yet, by the way, right? It's going to be so big. She thought her thing was going to be so big because it was already there. Star Wars is this big already, and she was just going to make it better, right? Cart before the horse. If she just made the park the way it was supposed to be, which was the old stuff, people would have loved that. Then they would have been more open to what she was bringing. Okay. So they had a meeting. It says, Kathleen Kennedy, and her point of view was that also the Disney story is ahead of us. Okay. So we really should think about what we were building at Tatooine and build what they 50-something members of Star Wars is, or what we did want it to build something like it else, which is also going to appeal to all of the upcoming generations who are going to know the new stories. You already have fans. Kids would have loved to go to Tatooine. Kids would have loved gone to Hoth. Kids would have loved to go to the Death Star. They would have loved all of these things because they saw it in the movie and they were like, oh my God, that's in the movie. I'm in the thing. You could have put an X-Wing and have someone sit in the actual X-Wing to pretend they were Luke Skywalker, and that would have made someone mind get blown. Okay? Obviously, you put the only thing from the old Star Wars is the Millennium Falcon. That's it. Nothing there is Star Wars except for the Millennium Falcon. Right? When you first walk into that ride, it's amazing. It says, don't focus on the land on the characters people like. Focus instead on the new movies, Kennedy said. Iger, listen. Well, those new movies have come and gone. Star Wars has never meant less than a national conversation, national conversation. Sure enough, under the new CEO, Josh D'Amaro, Disney announced this month that they were bringing Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker into Galaxy's Edge, as well as finally incorporating John Williams' beloved score from the original films. That's another thing. How do you not put the original score of Star Wars in Star Wars land? Please someone explain that to me. How do you not put the iconic songs that were made for the thing? They're like, well, we don't want to pay John Williams the licensing fee. All right. So that's how you know they're admitting that they made a gigantic mistake. Listen to Kathleen Kennedy. Bringing these characters to Galaxy's Edge makes no logical or thematic sense, particularly since they're being portrayed as the younger selves from the original trilogy. But Disney's desperate to make their gigantic investment, Galaxy's Edge, worth it, or hoping characters people you actually like will bring new fans in to keep them there longer. Absolutely right. It makes no sense because this land takes place during the new trilogy, which is the older 30 years later characters. So now, by bringing, and again, you don't really have to think about this too much, but now that you bring the younger Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia into this new land, they're bringing the characters from like Empire Strikes Back years into Batuu, which is 30 years prior, 35 years prior. It just doesn't make any doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? But it's not really supposed to make sense. It's a theme park, right? I mean, you got Mando walking around with young Luke. You've got, Kylo Ren there at the same time as Darth Vader, right? Obviously, they tried to make it where, when you walk around, everybody would tell you that they were part of the world. All the employees there wouldn't know what your cell phone was. They were all part of the thing. Okay, they were all part of what they were trying to sell. But nobody cared. Nobody cared. So here we are, right? It says, a series of unforced errors. They made mediocre movies. They've been mostly forgotten. Assumed that people also cared about Rey and Kylo Ren or Finn or Poe Dameron, and the bet billions of dollars that were also newer stories would also be more popular moving forward than the old ones. That's the biggest thing for me. To think that you were going to put the cart before the horse, even when Lucas made the things, he didn't know it was going to be that big. He didn't put the cart before the horse. He just made the thing that he wanted to make. He put you smack dab in the middle and said, New Hope, episode 4. There was no 1, 2, and 3. It was just 4. But then it made so much money, he had to make 5 and 6. And then because he made 5 and 6, and they were beloved, and it was one of the biggest franchises ever, he's like, you know what? I should make 1, 2, and 3. That'd be a cool story. Right? And Kathleen Kennedy came by and said, I know better than the man who made the film, made the actual franchise. Right? I'm better than him. I know better than him. Because we have Star Wars, people will just come. And that's the biggest problem with companies and corporations. They buy the IP because the IP is what it is. They think, well, it's got a baked-in audience, and no matter what you make with that IP, they're going to love it because they think you're brain dead. They think you're stupid. I'm not saying this, that they think you're stupid. No, they think you are stupid. They're like, yep, they bought this, they're going to buy this. Well, that's not what's happening anymore, right? They've completely not killed one franchise, but they've killed two. Imagine building up Marvel the way they've done, and now also killed that as well. It's mind-boggling to me what they've done with Star Wars and now with Marvel. So it says now they're asked to undo these mistakes without spending billions of dollars to reconfigure the land. What a disaster, and even predictable, avoidable one, right? It's absolutely amazing that they've done this, and it shows. It shows that now that Kathleen Kennedy's gone, they're trying to bring back as much possible of the old trilogy just to save Star Wars. Is it too late? I don't know. Right? Like, I don't really care if I walk around Disney World. I'm like, oh my God, there's Luke. I'm 48 years old. I don't care anymore. Okay. Maybe I would have if it was Tatooine Land. But now it kind of makes me more frustrated. I'll be honest with you. Because now, right? I've told this story when I went there with my son when he was just 4 years old. Chewie came up to him, and I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in the world, but my son was there, and he liked watching Star Wars, so we went there. Chewie interacted with him, and I was like, God damn, this is cool. I wish they had something like this when I was a kid, growing up watching Star Wars. It would have been amazing, right? Then years later, we went back there, and he wanted to get a picture with Chewbacca. And we walked into the place where you get in the line to get Chewbacca, and he asked me, because now he knows Star Wars a lot more. He's like, you think Han will be there? And the person standing in front of us waiting for our turn, like the person that worked there, was like, oh no, Han's dead. It's Chewie and Rey. And I'm like, why would you say that to him? Right? Like, my son was like ready to see Han Solo. And they're like, no, he doesn't exist in this world. Right? And I was just like, what's wrong with you? Right? And that to me, it was like, if a kid that watched Star Wars was like, I just want to see Star Wars. I just want to see Harry Potter. You go to Harry Potter, you go to Harry Potter World, you love Harry Potter, right? But for some reason, you love Star Wars, you go here, and this is not Star Wars. It's just so weird. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think of Disney screwing up so bad that only now that Kathleen Kennedy is left, that they started bringing back the actual original characters into the actual park? Now, it's only in California. That's a testing, right, to bring around, regardless if they look like princesses and look like princes, the way their hair looks and the wigs, okay? The fact that they brought these characters into the actual parks now speaks volumes of what Kathleen Kennedy and how much damage she's done to the brand. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, chat, let me see what you guys are saying here. Let me scroll back up. Uploading says, I don't get pressed about this stuff. Star Wars is for children, and children don't really care either way. That's not true. Children care a lot. You might not care, but children care a lot. See, and you grew up, and you became a grouchy old man. Or woman. Not sure. At this point, Disney deserves the same fate as Bungie? Oh, 100%. 100%. Kind of wild how exclusive Disney trips are. Expensive, you mean? Or exclusive? You mean expensive. Opponent says, George had no say in anything about Kathleen. He got edged out long before she was actually put in charge of Lucasfilm. No. He lost everything as when he signed it over. He was still in charge of everything until he signed that thing over to Disney. In concept, focusing on the new characters makes sense on paper. Not for a theme park. So you're saying to me that Universal Studios made a big mistake by making Diagon Alley from Harry Potter? They should have made it from Fantastic Beast instead. They should have done something completely different of an IP that hasn't done anything yet. Warbear says, focus on the new movies. Focus on the new movies and the ones the real fans don't give two shits about. Right. No one's going to talk about 7, 8, 9 years from now. Years from now, people are like, I don't understand. This is Star Wars land? I just watched Star Wars. What planet is this? Because they're not going to go and watch 7, 8, and 9. They're not going to understand. They're like, where is this? It's so weird. Mo says they couldn't wait for her to go. They're all talking now. Yeah. They hated her. You can see it. They didn't even wait. They didn't even wait for the ink to dry when she retired. They're like, yeah, we're putting in the characters in the park now. So it's Rey's Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it is. George Lucas couldn't even make a trilogy that could beat his old trilogy. What makes you think you can? Right, the first one didn't even... Right, 1, 2, and 3 didn't beat 4, 5, and 6. How is this misrepresented when the people they're quoting are people that were part of the Imagineers, quoting exactly what happened and why they changed the park? Epic John Williams score. There's sounds of the songs are also stuck in your head forever. Oh, yeah, 100%. Right now, Imperial March. Just saying that, you know what it is. %, Water. Baby says, in my opinion, I started on the wrong foot when JJ took zero risk and basically did the soft remake in The New Hope. Why do you think JJ did that? Do you think JJ's did that? Why would you pick 3 separate directors, not talk to each other about what the other director was doing in their movie, and then the third director quitting because the second director fucked up so bad that he's like, this doesn't fit with my script that I wrote, and then JJ had to rewrite stuff so it could work after Ryan Johnson's second movie? That's not on JJ. That's on Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, it's on JJ as well, but Kathleen Kennedy is the one that says, hey, this is good. I like the story. All right, do it. Like, she's literally the person that says yay or nay. Jesse Mack says because KK was also the craft service attendant who was also working for him secretly ever since they were also started. Yeah, she was a coffee person for Francis Ford Coppola, Spielberg, Lucas. I think you all underestimate the kids who grew up on 7, 8, 9. I don't think so. My kid is one of those kids. Poen says, I love 7, 8, 9. But I will eat anything because I also know that it like to go almost 20 years without seeing Star Wars. The Last Jedi was excellent, not going to lie. I mean, you're allowed your opinion. Everything else would say otherwise. Hence why the entire franchise collapsed because of it. Was it the awesome part where they took the ship and flew it through the other ship by going light speed? Was that your favorite part? That completely negates everything that happened in Star Wars before that? Why didn't they do that? Why don't they just take an X-Wing and just take it right through the Death Star? Done. End of story. Empire's done. That was one of your favorite parts? Of course it was. Of course it was. Because it makes absolutely no sense. Without the great old movies, Kathleen Kennedy has nothing. She acts like she's the reason for the movies are classic. Time tells the truth, her ability and incompetence. 100%, Mr. Z. Yeah, the Holdor maneuver. Oh, man, what a stupid fucking thing. And the space chase. Oh, for God's sakes. You don't care about Star Wars universe logic, but the measures nothing in the movies makes any sense. I mean, sci-fi is sci-fi, but in no matter what movie you talk about, you have to have a base level. You have to have the rules set, and the rules were set. You can't just all of a sudden say, "Oh yeah, we're just going to take the ship and we're just going to fly through the thing." It negates everything. Why didn't they do that to Starkiller Base? Why didn't they just fly through Starkiller Base and kill it that way? Right? Why didn't in Lord of the Rings they just get on a dragon that they could tame because of the wizard and just drop the ring off at the mountain? Why did they go on this long trip? Waterbear says episode 3 was peak Star Wars as far as I go when it comes to the new stuff. I also love Clone Wars. Oh, yeah. Yeah, episode 3, I would say, I mean, we've said this before, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. Then I would go 3. So I would go 5, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, and then I don't even count 7, 8, 9. Eagles, dragon, whatever. What are they doing? The beta, Travis, for Expanse? Like this is making my hero a damn geezer that drinks fucking milk. Getting out of here. Says the crazy because I love the dark side, but Luke is one of my favorite people in Star Wars. Well, that's because it can't be. According to certain people, you're not allowed to like it. It's for kids. You can't like the character. You're supposed to kill it, let it die. It's in beta for the Expanse. Is it really spoiling anything? They're not going to play the whole game, is it? It's just a small section of the game, is it not? I was just going to ask that, Altern. Like, why does a single player game need a public beta test? I don't know. I was just going to ask that. Why does a single player game need a beta test? I want no spoilers ever. Well, you better shut down your phone. That's for sure. Mr. G says 30. If you imagine a mid actor, not Adam Driver, deliver the Last Jedi lines, it's laughable. Like anybody else? I mean, you could do that with AI now. Pone says sounds like the devs are not confident with the product. I mean, I don't know if they're not confident or not. I just think it is weird that it's not coming out till next year, right? And they're doing a beta for a single player game. Just seems, I don't know, it just seems odd. Isn't that what QA is for? Like QA testers are for? I mean, I guess you are QA testers now. They're not paying you. Don't forget tomorrow, 12 Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync showing gameplay 30. You're going to stream it? What time is it at? 12? Probably not. Probably not. Travis says, because Owlcat is like maybe 200 employees. So they're having people buy in. Already said that it's largely meant for people who hope with help with the coding and reporting bugs and such. 200 people is a lot. That's a big studio, Travis. 200 people is a big studio. 15 people making Winrose. 14 people making No Man's Sky. 33 people making Expedition 33. Like, that's a small studio. 200 people, that's a big fucking studio. It's a good point, Krebsy. All right, Baldur's Gate 3 early access games. Okay, I'll give it to you. Still weird. Single player game. I don't know, it just feels weird. Because the Expanse is like a Mass Effect, right? Who are you talking to, Travis? Who are you talking to? Instead of typing that, you could just did nothing. Physics side is annoyed that the Holdo did the possible in the universe. An X-Wing and even a Moncal cruiser don't have enough mass for the planet or the Death Star. I mean, it would just cut through it in the logic of that they're doing. It had nothing to do with the mass. If you're a rebel and you're going up against a Star Destroyer, why shoot the Star Destroyer where you can just take one and just mow it right down the middle? And how if you're putting the logic in, right, of the mass and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? They're not putting that much effort into it. They just like, we'll do it. It's a movie, which is fine. Right. Rebels should kamikaze every Star Destroyer. Yeah. Big fleet. Just take the biggest one out. Just one guy. Right as you're about to die, right? Because you're outnumbered. 100 to 1. So you just fly. You're like, all right, guys. I mean, if you're going to die for the cause, you might as well take out a bunch of people, right? Exactly. Especially, Titan, since a mech droid can just sit in the back and fly the fucking thing by themselves. But let's not go into too much detail of why it makes no sense. Like, yeah, when we start to talk about it more, you're just like, why don't they just do this? Why do they have people fighting? R2, get up there. R4, get up there. All right, we won the battle. Thanks, guys. Even the Empire's like, wait a minute. Why do we have this technology where we know where they're coming out of hyperspeed, when we could just hyperspeed into their thing and win? I don't understand. The slow chase is the best. The Empire, who's got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of ships, is chasing one cruiser. They could just radio ahead and go, yeah, this is their coordinates. Can you do a blockade in front of them? End of movie. Why don't they just send Ant-Man up Thanos' ass? We wanted that. Yeah, that's what we said. We said, Yeah, he could just go up there. I think they actually had a reason why he couldn't do it or something. Third, don't forget the NFL draft also tomorrow night. Giants have some really high draft picks. Look, I'm excited for just hardball being there. I'll be honest with you. I'm excited for the new coach. I think regardless of whoever we get, he can sculpt them into actual players and make it an actual fucking team. I'm looking forward to him. Right. That's what I'm looking forward to. Sarge says the people in charge are mentally retarded and know nothing about sci-fi. Well, it's not even about sci-fi. It's about the rules and parameters that were already set. Do you know what I mean? Are you sure? He's aiming to get Sonny Styles. Yeah, what I'm saying, though, is I don't really care who they get. Honestly. The coach, to me, can make the team. If you have a good coach and you have mediocre players, they can rise up because of a coach. If you have one or two good players and you're depending on them and you have a shitty coach, you're done. I'd rather take a bunch of mediocre guys with a superb coach. Look what he did with the Ravens. Even when the Ravens didn't have anybody, they were a playoff team almost every year. Given the best opportunity for them to get there. What is it, 17 years? 17 years with the team? Palpatine returns, and I'm not talking about Rey. Yeah, a coach is what makes a team. If you have a shitty coach, your team is done. Just enough says sci-fi is space magic pretending to be realistic. Expanse is one of the only realistic shows. What's happening right now? You're combining the two. Well, is it sci-fi fantasy? Or is it one of those? I've never seen The Expanse. So it's sci-fi. Or is it like a sci-fi realistic? Like which one is it? Can it be sci-fi realistic? It says The Expanse is primarily a hard sci-fi fiction and space opera series that blends political drama, detective noir, and a conspiracy thriller elements. Set in the future of humanity and colonized in the solar system, the focus is on a tense, realistic, and often gritty conflict between Earth, Mars, and the Belt. Hard sci-fi fiction. What the fuck does that mean? A series is renowned and realistic portrayal. I've never heard that term before. Hard sci-fi fiction. Hard science fiction. It's sci-fi grounded. Yeah, it's hard science fiction. What other? Let's see. Best hard sci-fi shows ranked. All right, we have Firefly. That was considered hard sci-fi. Okay, love Firefly. Ghost in the Shell. Okay. Then we have Severance. Okay. Then we have Travelers. Then we have Dark. The Man in the High Castle. Devs. Foundation. Westworld. And The Expanse. So there you go. Hard sci-fi. Honest to God, I didn't know that was a category. So it's not sci-fi. It's hard sci-fi. So it's a completely different genre. Yes, hard science fiction is a subgenre of the general science fiction that differs primarily by prioritizing scientific accuracy, logic, and technical details, physics, chemistry, and biology over or alongside narrative plot. So there you go. So they've established the rules, right? They've established the rules of what happens in that show or that genre, right? It's not sci-fi. It's hard sci-fi. So it is a subcategory of sci-fi, and in that category, it needs to be logic, technical detailed, physical, chemistry, biology, over alongside narrative plot. Is soft sci-fi a thing? I don't know. I think that would just be called sci-fi, wouldn't it? Let's see. Yes, soft science fiction is different from hard science fiction. Okay? Though both are subgenres, hard sci-fi prioritizes scientific and accuracy in physical science. Okay? Where soft science prioritizes social sciences, psychological, and human emotion, often treating technology as a background element. So there you go. The more you learn every day. Yep. So soft sci-fi is Mark Ruffalo. That's basically what it is. There are people in Star Wars who have a metachlorian count. They are force sensitive. Chlor count, and they are force sensitive. I hated the metachlorian thing when they introduced that. When George Lucas introduced that, there's a lot of problems with Star Wars the longer they make the story. The longer they keep going, the worse it gets. Because they don't know the rules. So they just keep making stuff, which diminishes the foundation that it was set. Yeah, that's right, Krebsy. Bitch Hulk is soft sci-fi. That's right. Beta Hulk is soft sci-fi. Don't be Bitch Hulk. Don't be Bitch Hulk. Nobody likes Bitch Hulk. Unless people... you know who likes Bitch Hulk? I know who likes Bitch Hulk, Krebsy. Are you ready? People that like 7, 8, and 9. They think Beta Hulk is fantastic. Altern says, I'd rather be a side chick than a bitch Hulk. That's the worst. Worst character. Worst character in Marvel. Worse than Captain Marvel. Bitch Hulk. Travis says, Beta Hulk is the way someone in college writes fan fiction. Pone says, whoa now. Hey, if you get offended, then it's true. If you just take what I said and he just goes past you and you don't get offended, well, then it doesn't apply to you. If you think it applies to you, well, that means that's what it's true. Is that right, Pone? If I say the people that like Beta Hulk like 7, 8, and 9, and you like 7, 8, and 9, and you... Well, then it doesn't apply to you, right? You meet one of the criterias. Nobody that likes 7, 8, 9 also doesn't like bitch Hulk. Right? But if you like bitch Hulk, you do like 7, 8, 9. That's the statement. That's right, Mo. You can't give offense. You can only take offense. If you feel, right? Like if I was fat or bald, and then someone said bald people like bitch Hulk. Okay? And I'm like, whoa now. Now I'm admitting by just saying that, you know what I'm saying? But if I don't care, then that doesn't apply to me because I'm not offended by that. If you get offended, there's truth there. If you don't get offended, like if you were bald, yeah, it's definitely there, definitely there. But see, that's the difference. I don't care. In all the Hulk's MCU appearances, the only person he beat was Loki. Did he actually beat him, though? Lost to Wanda, Hulkbuster, emotions, Thor, Thanos, and screen time. Yeah, he lost to his emotions. Oh, God. He lost to She-Hulk. You forgot She-Hulk. He lost to She-Hulk as well. You're hanging on by a thread with that bald thing. Pun intended. At least I can cook. Emotional damage. Yeah, Hulk is. We'll see what happens in. We'll see what happens in Spider-Man. Brand New Day. Guess what? Spoiler alert. Still gonna be a bitch. Hulk is still going to be a bitch in Brand New Day. It might be a brand new day for Spider-Man. Same old shit for Beta Hulk. So it's just one less step I have to take in the day, Altern. To learn to cook. See, I don't have to brush my hair. I can spend more time cooking. See how that works? Actually, a few ways that Hulk could get back and enrage self with the Brand New Day. He's not. To set the bar nice and low. Just take the bar and put it on the ground. Hulk is not going to do anything. Mark Ruffalo is still Hulk. Remember that, Krebsy? That's correct, Altern. That is very correct. You won't get food poisoning from my hair or uncooked chicken. Travis says every time Ruffalo speaks, I feel like brain cells are dying. Yeah, he's terrible. All right, like my hair, it's over. I'm done for the day. We'll be back tonight. We're not doing shooting the shit with Sarge. So we'll be playing some video games over on 30 and Still Gaming. Come on by 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably play Windrose more. We'll probably play more Windrose tonight. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Booting up the day with a cup of tea, RGB lights smiling back at me. Got the tower humming, looking proper nice. Console lads crying, blimey, what's the price? Click of the mouse and we're off to the races. Screen so sharp you can see the faces. Oh, love, and the frame rate hits the stride. Feels like the whole UK's on my side. Oh, no frame cap's gonna hold us down. We're running this town. Sweet Lord, the power, the grace, that glorious PC crown. We're the PC master race, gloriously smooth in a digital space. Boot it up, love, let the colors embrace. High-res dreams with impeccable taste. Raise your T, raise the bass. Cheers to the glorious PC master race. Plug in the headset, mates online, laughing at console dropping to 39. Mods on deck, got a world to bend, and the patches don't take till the weekend's in. Flip that switch, feel the British breeze. Mechanical keys, tapping melodies. Ultra settings look divine. It's tea time and game time. Oh, no wall garden's gonna clip our wings. We change everything. Dial it up with a bit more pace. Long live the glorious master race. We're the PC master race, gloriously smooth in a digital space. Boot it up, love, let the colors embrace. High-res dreams with impeccable taste. Raise your T, raise the bass. Cheers to the glorious PC master race.